Good morning. Welcome, welcome. I gotta put something on Instagram real quick. Make sure people come from Instagram. Man, I did not sleep last night. I did not sleep last night. Had the stomach problem. I don't know. I woke up in the middle of the night. I was walking around Brickell at 3 o'clock in the morning last night. Yesterday sucked. But I feel all right, actually, surprisingly. I feel good. I think it probably helps that the night before yesterday I went to bed at 8 o'clock. That felt great. I don't know about you guys, but once in a while you go to bed early, man, the next day you feel like $1,000,000. I ate Chipotle pretty late, and I think that messed me up. I had it at like 9, and then I went to bed like an hour later. And I usually don't eat very close to when I go to sleep. I think that screwed me up. I think that was a bad idea. So never again will I eat so close to going to sleep. Hope you guys are all, looks like a lot of people are sick in the chat. Hope everyone's feeling all right this morning. Gold, hopefully you're feeling all right, my friend. Today is, I saw your message this morning. Today is the Biggie Smalls Day or something like that, right? The catalyst. Yeah, it definitely does. Focusing on your body, mindset definitely helps you in trading. I've noticed a significant increase in my discipline from going to the gym every day. You know, I've been going to the gym every day now for 3.5 months, and it's a really nice, like, sort of discipline, and it definitely carries over into your trading. So if you guys have an undisciplined life, you know, if you're struggling, I'll be definitely someone to try to motivate you to be disciplined in things in life as well. It definitely transfers over to everything, you know, even trading. So yeah, definitely. I've definitely seen an increase in my performance trading from just a performance in overall life, keeping things structured, etc. So let's get started. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the stream. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the morning so far. Hopefully you had a good day yesterday. Yesterday was pretty textbook. It was just supply to demand, demand to supply. Channel high, channel low to channel high. If you respected the channel, then yesterday was a pretty easy day. If you respected the channel, yesterday was a pretty easy day. We had these exact levels yesterday in the pre-market. I have not touched anything. I have not touched these levels once over the last 2 days. We went from channel high to channel low, channel high to channel low, into end of day, push back towards channel high, right? So if you just respected the channel yesterday, like we talk about every single day on this live stream, if you shorted here and you bought down around this 39.75, you did a pretty damn good job. So yesterday, did okay. Made close to 1,000 yesterday with some Tesla downside, or Tesla upside, I'm sorry. I traded some upside off Tesla, and then I traded the AMD puts off 83. So really nice 2 trades there yesterday, and really just using those channels on the market to sort of guide my trades. And today, it's the same damn thing. So we have no changes in the levels on the NASDAQ and the ES today. So we'll look at those again, but I really don't have much to report as an update on the futures side of things because we're really just in the same channel. So we have to wait to see, does that channel break, or do we continue to trust the channel? Do we respect the lows and respect the highs? That's what we'll have to see if we get any type of movement outside of it today. Some pretty interesting setups out there to be paying attention to. I like some Meta action. I like some of the AMD action. I like some of the Nvidia under 240 again action. So there's some plays out there that I want to be paying attention to. So let's go ahead and do that today. If you guys could, before we get started, let's get those likes up. We got about 900 people here. We got about 200 likes. If you guys could be so kind, take 1 second, press the like button. Let's start getting that number up. Continue to grow this stream. We got to start gaining some momentum. Violence, speed, momentum. If you know where that's from, then you better press the like button. If you don't know where violence, speed, momentum is, then you got to play some more video games. You got to start playing some more video games, or you got to start watching the doc. The greatest live stream on YouTube is the doc. All right, so today, futures, economic earnings calendar, jobless claims here at 8:30. I'll go ahead and pull up that calendar for us. Here we go. So you guys can see right here, Thursday, 8:30 this morning. Raul. in about 23 minutes, we have jobless claims. All right. So watch out for that. 8:30 jobless claims. That's going to obviously do a little bit of something on the market. We'll have to see how the market reacts to this. And then we'll sort of review the levels once again. Thanks, Amit. The 2-time. Yeah, maybe I'm the 1-time. Maybe I got to be the 2-time soon. 8:30 jobless claims. People in the chat probably have no idea what we're talking about. The 2-time, the 1994, 1995 back-to-back blockbuster video game champion. 8:30 jobless claims. Watch out for that. That's really it today. And then tomorrow we have Fed presidents. We've seen what's happened in the past on Fed presidents. So I would make sure to just be aware of 10 o'clock today. Tomorrow, employment report, U.S. unemployment rate, average hourly earnings, and the federal budget at 2 o'clock. So some news tomorrow as well that we can keep an eye out for. But the immediate concern today is jobless claims and then Fed president or a Fed governor speaking at 10 a.m. All right. Today is the big day that I'm very excited to see. I'm probably not going to play it. I'm going to be smart. I'm going to hold off. But Ulta reports earnings today. And damn, am I interested to see what happens on that thing. So today you have Ulta that is reporting earnings. You have DocuSign. You got Oracle, Gap, Vail. I'm actually going to Vail. That's funny that comes up. Oh, you can't see this. Sorry. So Ulta, DocuSign, Gap, Oracle, Vail Resorts. Well, Pig me. Ty knows it all. Yeah. So Ulta's very interesting today. We'll see what happens. That stock just goes up every day, but I don't know. We'll see what happens today on earnings. So we got the earnings. We got the economic news. Let's start going over some names. Nvidia back under 240, something we're going to look at. Meta 185 is something we're going to look at. Tesla back to the 100 SMA is something that's interesting. Crypto fears. There's a lot of, the S. I don't want to start cursing on the stream, but there's a lot of stuff that's going on with the crypto space right now. You got that SI stock that's getting pretty much liquidated. You got stocks like this SBNY, which is Signature Bank, that's getting crushed. SIBN, I think, is the other one. SIVB. It's right here. You can see it right here. This thing's getting, they're doing an offering. There's a lot of stuff going on here. This is Silvergate. You guys can see that thing got crushed in the after hours. And then the SBNY, another one that sort of got crushed here after hours. A lot of stuff going on with the crypto space right now. And I'm going to keep an eye on like Coinbase and MicroStrategy today to see how these react. Bitcoin also down like 2% overnight. So some interesting, I would sort of keep an eye on that crypto area today and over the next few days. Some weird stuff going on over there. A lot of the banks that were sort of backing FTX, that were, heavily involved in crypto are starting to get into real trouble. Starting to get in some serious trouble. So watch out for those. Apple 151 demand, Google 94, and then the AMD retest is what I'm watching today. So let's start going over them. Let's start with the futures. As always, it's really simple today, guys. You just got to watch the channel. And if we break the channel, we get a big move, right? That's really the idea today. So yesterday we came into the day saying, watch out for 39.75 demand and watch out for 4,003 supply. It is the perfect previous channel here, previous highs, previous lows, right? This was the previous channel, and you can see we traded within that once again today or yesterday. Today, we remain in that channel. So our ideas today are, do we get the break of this 39.75? If we break under this 39.75, I think it can get slippery down to that 100, 200 SMA. So keep an eye on this 39.75 level today. Do not short into the lows. All right? Do not take shorts here because you know it's going to go down today. I know it's going to be bearish today. Today's bearish. I know we're going down. If you say that, you already lost money. Right? With that mindset, you're already going to lose long term. It's almost inevitable. So we have to play the levels. We have to see, does this level give up first? If we give up this level, Then we look for the retest. We look for it to start to turn into a rejection. And then we can look for that downside confirmation and try to play to the downside. But without the downside confirmation, right, this level can still be held, and we have to respect that. So 39.75 still is a possible demand level today. We'll have to see what happens intraday. If it holds, we could possibly see another little push, right, back into the supply. It did it all day yesterday. What says it can't do it again today? So you can see we slipped down into that demand yesterday, popped right back up off of it. You got to look for the same type of movement today. So 39.75, 4,000, 4,003. You look for the break and retests, or you look for the demand and supply holds, right? You look for either the demand hold, you look for the supply rejection, or you look for the break and retests of either side. But you don't trade just the break. You wait for the retest. You wait for the confirmation so that you don't lose or you don't get faked out. All right? That's really it, right? It's the same thing as yesterday. SPY, same exact thing, right? 399, 396.50, clear demand, clear supply, right? Which way do we break? If we break this 396.50, you're probably coming down into that 100 and 200 SMA, right? That's most likely where you're looking on both the ES and the SPY. SPY's down here at 39.50. I'm sorry, ES, 200, 100 SMA. On the SPY, 100, 200 SMA right there. That would probably be your downside target if we give up these lows, right? So that's what I would watch there. Pretty much the same exact thing on the NASDAQ here, guys. Supply at 12,250. We talked about this all day yesterday in the live stream. We absolutely perfectly rejected 12,250 yesterday. I mean, it could not have been any better, right? We talked about this level yesterday, and it was absolutely perfect. So, yeah, I mean, if you come to the live streams every day, right, I know I say like, oh, we talked about this yesterday. If you actually come to the live streams every day, I hope you're starting to see how accurate levels are on the market. I mean, almost every single day we come onto this live stream, and I'm not trying to boast my analysis, guys. That's really not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is open your eyes to, right, seeing how important these levels are and how if you can start looking at these, you don't need me. Maybe it helps to just come to the live stream and you can see the levels I have, but it's working like every single day. So, these supply demand levels, I can't stress them enough. It's so important. So 12,250 was incredible yesterday. Awesome downside move off of it. The 12,140 demand held all day yesterday. It held here in the pre-market. That's going to be the key, right? Do we lose 12,140? If we lose 12,140, we turn it into a rejection, right? You're probably moving down to 12,030. That's really the next move, right? That's really the next move. If you drop this low, right, you're probably coming down to this low here. So that's not quite the 200. You actually have more than the 200, more downside. In the 100, it's all the way down here. But I would assume that the next demand steps up around this 12,030 area, right? So look for that. See what happens here. 12,140. If you break that, if you turn it into a rejection, I'd assume downside. But like I said already, we have to respect this level. You can see this is a previous triple top that held demand all day yesterday. There is nothing stopping the NASDAQ from doing this again today. Nothing. No matter how hard-headed you are, no matter how much you think the market should go down, there is nothing stopping the NASDAQ from doing that today. Nothing. Maybe it does it, maybe it doesn't. But you cannot get ahead of this. If you buy puts at the lows here, this is basically what you're asking to get stuck into. So wait for the break, wait for the retest, wait for the confirmation of the break of this level, then you look to go short. Don't FOMO into this downside. If we get a push back to the upside, you look to see if the supply rejects again at 12,250, all right? So 12,140, 12,250, perfect levels. Yeah. All right. So NASDAQ, the one that's interesting here is the Russell. I think this is pretty weak And the Russell did something that is a little concerning yesterday. So if the small caps start to lead this move, right, you might see something here. Watch this, right? Look at the Russell. The Russell's doing something very different. Look at what the Russell did yesterday. The Russell broke below the previous double bottom, and look at the rejections that stepped in all morning on the Russell. So this is very interesting. And I am definitely interested in maybe swinging some IWM puts here with the stop over this high, right? If I go to the IWM, I'm not opposed to taking a shot like this on the IWM. Let me go to the 1 hour chart here. So it's not this level. It's down here at these double bottoms. It's right around this 186.50. Maybe you even give it like 187 yesterday rejection. Yeah, it's around 187. I'm not opposed to taking a shot here on the IWM. Previous double bottom lows into rejections yesterday. And if the market starts to get a little risk off, which I feel like we're starting to see a little bit, the Russell could be one of the weakest ones. So definitely watching this IWM. Big rejection of previous lows yesterday. Creating a lower high and creating a rejection at the previous double bottom. So, yeah, I'm interested. I got to tell you, I'm pretty interested to see if this Russell sort of gives up here. I, first of all, maybe am a little bit against. I think we all can understand that the Russell is filled with stocks that really are not high-quality stocks, especially in the environment that we're in. So I would always look to see if the Russell would underperform, the overall market. So, yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on this today. 187 rejection. I think this is a pretty important takeaway after yesterday's price action. You guys can see it right here. This is pretty much the perfect example. Look at this. So this is Tuesday, and this is yesterday. Look at Tuesday's demand at 187, and look at yesterday's supply at 187. That is pretty much the perfect example of a flip, right? Day over day. Look how clear this flip is right here on the Russell. From a demand to a supply. A one-day flip, and now at least you have risk reward, right? If you're wrong, you stop out over 187. If you're right, who knows, right? You might get a nice little slip here, maybe 1-2% on the downside, maybe back into the 200 SMA. Right? At this point, risk reward is sort of there. Right? Here's your risk, stop over 187. Your rewards probably down to the 100, 200 SMA. Yeah. All right. So I'm interested. I'm not saying you just go ahead and buy puts at open, but that is an interesting little flip there on the Russell, and I would be paying attention to it. All right. We already did this SPY. You can rewind the video if you have to at the end. Dow Jones, really big level down here in the Dow. Big demand to pay attention to. The Dow was extremely weak yesterday. Barely even found like a supply rejection. It just sort of sat at demand all day. So watch this 32,700 area, right? All this demand here. You can't short it yet, right? You're not going to short into these lows, but you can clearly see the weakness on the Dow. See if it gives up this zone. All right. How much time? It's up to you, Daniel. Depends on if you want to take a short-term trade, a longer-term trade. You want to scalp it. You want to swing trade it. I don't know yet. I'm going to still think through it. So that's the futures. I think the biggest futures takeaway is the Russell, right? I think that's the one that is actually starting to make a little bit of a move here, right? Under the channel. Everything else is still above the channel, right? ES is still above the channel. NASDAQ is still above the channel. The Russell is below and turning it into a rejection. So interesting stuff there. All right. Now, the thing you have to be careful of, right? This is what could happen today. This is the scenario where you could lose on Meta or on Russell. If the NASDAQ and ES hold their demand lows, let's say the ES holds 39.75. Let's say the NASDAQ holds 12,130, 140. If those hold and push to the upside, the Russell might just bounce with the market, right? And then you just get stopped out. That's very possible. So you have to, you can't just think that, you found the golden ticket here and you're going all in. So there's always things to be aware of, possibilities of things going wrong for you. That would be what goes wrong if the NASDAQ ES hold demand. All right, Nvidia. I want to nail this short, but damn, it doesn't give up. I'll tell you that. Nvidia, this supply up here continues to step in, right? Rejections in this whole area, anywhere, even like up to this 242, 243. It's this whole zone just keeps on getting, these intraday moves, and then they quickly give them back. So today, Nvidia gapped back down under 240, and that's what I'm going to be watching today. What is the reaction at 240? I'm a little bit cautious playing upside on Nvidia, to be honest, up here. I have the shares. I have 100 shares at 130. So I'm sitting really pretty on those. I don't know if I want to keep playing upside. It's like this does not instill confidence to me to play upside. I know there might be some short-term plays, but I don't like fighting against these major supply zones. And I think playing upside here on Nvidia is you're just continuing to battle against this supply, right? You can see, look at every time that Nvidia pops higher. Maybe you can catch something stupid like this. I'm not saying there's not money to be made. Right? If you caught this move, then sure, right? You made a fucking, excuse me. You made a killing. Can't curse. You made a killing, right? If you caught that. But, I don't know. It seems like a sweaty trade. That's sort of how I would, you guys hear me say that a lot. It's a sweaty trade, right? It's pretty sweaty continuing to trade calls here on Nvidia. I'm probably not going to get into it. I'll just hold my shares if this thing wants to continue to rocket, to the upside. Otherwise, I am interested in trying to catch this rejection up here. So, going to be watching it, right? 240. Let's see what happens here. 240. If we get a rejection of 240 today, watch for that 238. If you move under 238, then I think you might have some juice, right? If you move under 238, I think you might get some juice. Something like this, right? Back to like that 232. So you need the 238 slip to really get the juice. Without that, it could hold these previous highs again, right here. So, yeah, I think upside on Nvidia, you're really pushing the line here, right? You're really, really pushing it. It's continuing to play into this triple top at 240. You could have said that here, but it did pull back, right? You could see something similar. What was this move? This was a 6% downside move. Where's 6% take us? It takes us about the same spot. So you can see if you continued to play long into this triple top, you probably got a little bit messed up. So I'm not gonna play another triple top rejection and try to continue to long this thing. As much as I love Nvidia, it just doesn't quite make sense in my mind. All right, Meta 185, big level here today. So if Meta can actually regain 185, this could continue higher. And Meta has been a strong outperformer, and Meta has continued to hold this 181. So I will be watching to see if Meta maintains this 185 today. You guys can see right here, 185, 185, 185, 185. And if we can start to hold 185 today, maybe there is something off this level today. So I'm going to keep an eye on 185 on Meta. I'm going to see if it wants to maintain. If it does, I'll look to see if there's any kind of long opportunity off that. I will also look to see if there is a short play under 185, right? I'll also look for that. But, right, this is the thing that sort of thinks, this is the thing that keeps me away from going short, to be quite honest. Look at what happened yesterday. Or maybe it was not yesterday, maybe it was last week. Or, when was it? This was, okay, yeah, it was yesterday, my bad. So, look what happened yesterday on Meta, right? You moved down pretty aggressively, but look at the demand that stepped up here around this 180, 181. Look at the demand that stepped up here at this previous high, right? And then you can go to the hourly wicks. Look at those wicks right in that green zone. So I'm a little bit concerned to play in the downside there, right? That demand definitely showed me, hey, don't short into this level. That's probably not the best of ideas. So probably not going to short into the 181s. You can clearly see the demand that stepped up. And I'm probably going to look to see if 185 turns into a support today. And if it does, I'll look to see if I can get some continuation. So let's see. Obviously, in about 4 minutes, things can change from jobless claims. So we'll have to reassess. All right, Tesla. Yeah, all about the 100 SMA and 180 today. That's really the main watch, guys. It couldn't be more clear here. You got a very, very clear 180, right? Actually, I'm going to turn this red for my sake. Like that. Like that. And like that. Can you show you? You go here, right? You press the studies, and you just type in daily SMA. That's all you do, right there. Daily SMA. Change the day, right? Change the time, whatever you want it. You want the 69 SMA? Sure. Here you go. 69 SMA. We'll make it this pink color. Where's the 69 SMA at? Can't find it. Who else has trouble finding it? There it is. There's your 69 SMA. So, yeah, that's all you do. Type in daily SMA and put the number you want. All right. So, Tesla. Let's go 5 minute because it's really clear there on the 5 minute. You guys can see low, low, and low. Triple bottom yesterday at 180, right? So watch out for that. If you pop back into that level, right? If you pop back into that level, you got to watch out for rejections, right? Watch out for the rejections at 180. So previous low, previous low, previous low. You push up into it, watch the rejection, watch the rejection, watch the rejection. All right? 180. So keep an eye on that today. If you get a pop, keep an eye to see what happens at that level. If you see a supply rejection step in, you might be able to play the break and retest, right? Little break and retest like that. Or if you get back above 180, you might be able to hold above it, right? If you just got to see what happens here at 180 today. That's really the key. I would not trade Tesla unless it gets back to this 180 level, in my opinion. I would try to look for a trade back at 180. That's where your best opportunities are going to arise. Either the put side supply rejection, or long on the regain of that 180 level. I would be a little bit cautious shorting Tesla before it retests that 180, and here is why. Because you are sitting right at the 100 SMA. I would be a little cautious shorting into the 100 SMA after Tesla is down 18% in like 2 weeks. So, yeah, watch out for that. I would probably not short at the 100, and I would look for the retest of 180. All right? Jobless claims. Here we go. Will pop? Does it hold? And it's holding a little bit. Yeah, I have 100 shares of, I have like 100 in total. I think like 150 shares of Tesla, Jeff. Yeah, it's going up. It's on the screen. Let's see if I can find the jobless claims 211 versus 195 estimate. Jobless claims, so more jobless claims. That's actually, yeah, that's technically bullish. All right. More people are jobless. That's what the Fed wants to see. So, yeah, that's sort of what the Fed wants to see, right? That makes sense. Yeah, I don't know who Zareen. I've given up trying to. I talked about this a lot on the everywhere. If you listen to me, you've probably heard this from me before. There is absolutely zero reason to try to understand the movements of economic data. All you need to do is trade intraday, find your strategy, trade it every day. If you become a profitable trader, it is so mind-numbing to try to understand what is good, what is bad, why is the market doing this, why is it doing that, right? It doesn't matter. It makes no difference, right? Just play the levels, play the technicals, make your money, and get out. That's what I live by. I do not try to understand why things happen. I really don't. I have an understanding of it, right? I'm not like mindless to it. I'm not just dumb, but I'm not gonna like go into, not gonna like do some fundamental analysis tonight and be like, I don't understand why the market would go up if jobless claims are up. It just doesn't make sense. The economy is in such a bad situation. Why would the market go up today, right? It's it's a total waste of time. It's a total waste of time, and you're just gonna make yourself pissed off, really. So, anyways, all right. So, upside on the SPY on the ES, but remember, watch out for supply, all right? We are not above supply. Just because the market goes higher today does not mean, all right, just because we're a little popping, get a little pop here today, does not mean that we're outside of this channel yet. We have to wait for the channel. So, this could easily do this. There is nothing stopping the market from doing this today, right? You got to watch this channel high, all right? So let's circle back really quick on some of the ones we've already looked at because the market is definitely pushing. So we're back over 240. That idea is no longer valid on Nvidia. Now you look to see if you hold 240 as support. If you really want to play long, I'm probably just going to be happy with my share gain here because that thing's rocketing. You could look for a break and retest over the highs. If you really want to get active on Nvidia, 243, right? You try to look for a break and retest of the highs there. Let's go back to Tesla. Tesla back at 180. Does Tesla pop back over it today? Does it turn it back into support? If it does, do you get upside continuation or do you reject 180 today? Same exact concept, right? Nothing changes there. What else did we look at? We looked at Meta. Yeah, Meta 185, definitely a big watch of mine here today, guys. I think Meta could outperform. If Meta can hold this 185, would love to get a pullback. That would be nice. But if we can get a little bit of Meta pullback here, maybe back to 185 today, I would love to play that retest. So definitely watching 185 on Meta. Let's continue through what else we were looking at. We'll skip over the crypto thing for now because I think there's some more urgent concerns to look at. This one I like on Apple. I like this potential flag on Apple. This is a flag that I could possibly get behind if the market is strong today. You guys can see Apple has sort of downtrended over the last 3 days into demand, right? It moved lower into demand, the 20 SMA, and the 151 level, right? So lows, lows, and lows. You guys can see we moved back into that demand at 151. Now, there's a little bit of a downtrend here, a little bit of a flag, right? And if we can break that flag, this is not right. Hold on. Sort of like this. It's not perfect, but I definitely could see the flag formation starting to set up, right? You can see it sort of there, that little downtrend that's setting up. Really what's key is the move over 153.50, right? If we can get over yesterday's highs, right around this 153.50, if we can do something like this today, then I would look for, right, that move into that 155. If we reject this supply again, right, if this jobless claims upside is a big fake, you might get better risk reward on downside today. It's still both sides are possible, right? So 153.50, that has to break for any type of upside continuation on Apple, or right, or you look for the rejection play. So watch out for that. Very clean levels here on Apple, 153.50 to 151. If you get over that 153.50, you might squeeze a little bit. So watch out for that one. Yeah, I mean, this has not really done much, right? ES is still in that channel, so don't get it twisted here yet. A little bit of upside, but we got to wait for that channel break to really feel confident on upside today. All right, Google 94. This one's sort of interesting to me as well today. A little bit of an inverse head and shoulder on Google. Where else have we seen this before? We've seen this on Nvidia before this unreal pump. So here's the 4-hour on Nvidia. And you guys can see this little inverse head and shoulder that's set up on Nvidia. Now, I'm not saying it's going to do the same thing. But this was an inverse head and shoulder on Nvidia at 140. All right. Previous lows. There's your head. Right shoulder. Left shoulder. You can see. And then the big push. So I'm not saying that it's going to do the same thing, but I'm seeing a similar type of formation here on Google on the 4-hour chart. If the market is strong, I'm not opposed to trying Google off 94 today. All right, you can see all the demand here. You can see all the demand here. It makes a lot of sense to try to long off 94. If the market breaks that channel high, I think Google can probably push here. So watching that 94 demand on Google today, I think it's a decent looking setup. I would watch out for the supply at 96. Keep an eye on that, right? Just be careful of that. Yeah, so 94, 96, little inverse head and shoulder, demand at 14 or at 94. I'm going to keep an eye on it today. Obviously, depends on the market. You can obviously look for the 94 slip as well. But an interesting demand that steps up there at 94 on Google. You know for sure, Gilbert? If you knew for sure, then I don't know why you're on the live stream, my friend. If you knew Apple was for sure going to 140, then you should be a rich man. AMD. So, AMD, you guys can see right here. 85, 86, big levels up there. Daniel, you can figure that out yourself on the chart, man. I can't keep answering all these questions. Just go to the chart and chart it out, my friend. I'm not going to hold up everyone here to go look at things, your questions every single 2 minutes. I can't answer everything. So, go to the chart, check out what the percentage is, and yeah. So 86, 87, watch out for that. You guys can see right here, supply, and these rejections coming in here on AMD. So watch out for that. Keep an eye on that 86, 87. That's a big supply level up there. If we get a pullback on the market, I would look to see if we get a move back to that 83 area, right? 83, 83, 83. If we get a pullback, I would look for the 83 demand, right? Or I'd look for the break over this 87, 86 area. But this is a really tough level up here on AMD, guys, so be careful. Be careful on the upside, all right? Rejections. Watch out for that 86, 87. All right, I want to go into the crypto names for a second here. There's a really interesting wedge forming here on coin. So this could be there could be a big move forming here on coin. All right, keep an eye on this thing. Got a really tight wedge, and eventually there's going to be a move outside of this wedge. All right, there's going to be a move outside of this wedge. It's a matter of time. Which way? That's the question. Right now, it continues to hold this 200 SMA level, which is around this 60.5. That demand continues to step up around 60.5, which is the 200 SMA. So look for that wedge breakout on coin, either to the downside or to the upside. If it breaks that 60.5, you might get that downside continuation. MicroStrategy, another one that's been slipping due to some Bitcoin fears, Bitcoin concerns, some of these companies getting liquidated, SI being one of them. Watch for this pullback to around, I would say this probably could try to retest this 210 to 11. You guys can see right here, 210 to 11, previous high, previous low. So if we do get some more Bitcoin downside, watch for that MicroStrategy down to that 210 to 11 and that coin wedge. All right, these are very interesting. I want to see what happens on these in the next coming days. All right, what else we got going on in this market? We can go over Microsoft real quick. This was another one I was sort of eyeing today for a demand hold. You guys can see right here. You guys can see we had demand, previous supply, demand, and demand. So you can see Microsoft is pushing into that, right? Microsoft is pushing off that demand today. Previous demand, turning into demand again. So this is sort of similar to Google in the sense that it's sort of an inverse. I wouldn't say that's much of an inverse head and shoulder, but you could see that clear demand that's stepping up, similar to that Google 94 level, right? Clear demand stepping up at Google 94, not only in the short term, but back here, right? You can see that demand. Very similar on Microsoft here, this 251, 252. You need to get over that 255 though, right? You got to get over that 255 for strength for a big move. Netflix, this could be your pullback, right? This could be your pullback to the 100 SMA. This might be an interesting opportunity on Netflix. I actually sort of like this a lot. I've been sort of eyeing where Netflix is going to try to bounce. Netflix has been pulling back pretty religiously, about 17% for like 2-3 weeks now, and it's now back at this these previous levels here around this 305 and the 100 SMA. So yeah, this is a little interesting here. I will say down this Netflix pullback could be a little bit of opportunity. You guys can see right here, starting to hold that 305 demand and sort of back above that 100 SMA. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one today as well. This Netflix off this 100 SMA. Could be interesting. All right, let's go into some of the names that you guys got for me. If you could take a second, we got 1,800 people here. Damn. 1,800 people. If you guys enjoyed the live stream, I do want to apologize for some of my snarkiness in the chat. I know I probably offend some people, but I'm honestly just being myself. And yeah, that's what I'm going to continue to do. I will not change who I am. So I sometimes make some remarks, but it's all out of love. It's all out of me trying to teach people or try to get people away from bad habits. You know, asking about really bad stocks, right? Like what's Bed Bath & Beyond doing today? If you ask that, I'm probably going to snark at you. If you ask me what AMC, if you ask me for technicals on AMC, I'm probably going to tell you to get out. So those things, I'm going to try to, I sometimes be a little bit mean. I do apologize. But hey, it's all love, and it's sometimes what people need to hear. So if you like it, you stick around. If you don't like it, you don't have to stay. It's all good. Enphase, CRM, PayPal, Costco, Amazon, FedEx, Oxy. All right, here we go. We're speed round. Better pay attention. If someone asks me to do one of those stocks in the chat, instant ban. Just kidding. Yep, Paul Johnson did it. Nope, don't ban him. Just kidding. All right, Enphase. So Enphase big slip yesterday under 220. Yeah, I would watch 220. Right? See if 220 turns into a rejection. If 220 turns into a rejection, you might look for more continuation to the downside. It's all about 220. Keep an eye on that level. Salesforce, CRM, gap fill opportunity. If the market's hot today, though, it might recover some. It's continued to stair step, right? It's continued to stair step. I would say now, you probably want to see this thing stay below yesterday's or this Tuesday low around 132. Right, you can see right here this 132 low. If it gets back above that, let me be honest with you real quick. I don't really like how this is moving. It's a really weird move, right? You can see it's like a slow grind to the downside. I don't know. I'm not playing it personally. I don't think it's got enough juice here. It's like really slow. I think the play is still possible as long as it stays under 185. Let me just put it at that. All right, as long as it's under 185, I think the play is still possible, the gap fill. But the way it's moving just really doesn't interest me. PayPal, a little bit of movement on PayPal, yeah, but this stock is so dead, guys. I mean, this is one of those stocks where I'm probably going to grill you for looking at it. This is just a dead stock. I really could not tell you what happens here on PayPal. This is a total disaster, this chart. I mean, what's the levels here? What are we playing off? Yeah, I hate PayPal. I would not look at it. There's so many better plays out there, guys. There's no reason to play cheaper stocks. Like the option contracts are not any cheaper. You can play an Apple. You can play an AMD. Right? You can play a stock with a highly liquid options chain with movements that are pretty damn clear. All right? We don't need to be playing shit stocks. It doesn't make sense. All right. Anyways, Costco, 4-hour chart. You're still rejecting that 200 SMA, but like we talked about, Chef, I know me and you talked about this one. I think Costco is just going to stay in this channel between 495 and 470. I really don't see it doing much here. You got to wait for a break of this channel, 495 or 470. Amazon 93 is the level. You guys can see this is pretty much identical to Google. A little bit different in the fact that it didn't never really popped, but you can see the demand at 93, demand at 93. It's all about 93. Do we hold it? Do we lose it? And FedEx, that's an interesting one. All right, now that's a little interesting there. Little flag off a retest. I know this is a retest because I remember it. Yeah. I like this a lot. Right? This is a possible swing trade idea. Stop under like 203. You could even put a stop under 200 if you want to give it more space. Right? Put a stop under that 200 psych level. Something along these lines. And you just sort of see if this thing wants to sort of curl back off 200 off a little flag break. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I like that setup. I would watch that. Oxy. This is totally ran by, economic data on oil. Warren Buffett bought more. It's a total shit show of a chart. I don't know. All I'd say is that you watch the XLE and see if it holds this demand. That's what I would do. See if the XLE holds this demand. All right. Can we get 1,000 likes on the stream? We're almost there. Let's go to the futures real quick. Let's see what we're doing. Let's get a quick update. All right, so here's the key. This will happen to someone today. If we pop to the upside and we move into 4,000, someone will long into this supply and the market could do this. All right, please don't be that person. Wait for the retest. You do not need to be long before this breakout. There is plenty of opportunity, guys. There is an infinity amount of upside here to take advantage of. You do not need to be long here, right? You don't need to be long here. There's all this. There's all this to play, right? Think about that. You don't need to try to long into supply. Stay relaxed. Don't long into this supply level. It's very possible that we could see this, and that is not what you want to be stuck in. So respect the channel. 4,003, 439.75. Daniel, I don't know. I can't tell you, my friend. I don't know who deletes it. I don't know. It's right there. This is what I see. Yeah. Dow? I don't know. All right. Thank you guys again. Hope you have a fantastic day. Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for the 1,000 likes again. That is awesome. I appreciate all of you. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. Hope you learned something from it. And I will see you tomorrow. Yeah. See you later.